Hello and welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy this story. I'm going to try and upload a new story each day. The Shadowed Scribes. In the quaint town of Ravenshade, nestled between mist-shrouded hills, lived a writer named Evelyn Hartman. She was drawn to the macabre and mysterious, seeking inspiration in the shadows that clung to the cobblestone streets and the whispers that danced through the ancient trees. One fateful day, while exploring the dusty shelves of an old bookstore, Evelyn stumbled upon an antique typewriter that sent a shiver down her spine. The brass keys beckoned to her like skeletal fingers, and the ornate designs etched into its frame hinted at a forgotten elegance. The shopkeeper, an elderly man with eyes that held secrets, informed Evelyn that the typewriter had once belonged to Ambrose Blackwood, a reclusive author known for his tales of unspeakable horror. Legend had it that Blackwood's stories were so potent that they bled into reality, and his typewriter was said to be a conduit to the dark recesses of his imagination. Intrigued and undeterred by the ominous rumors, Evelyn purchased the typewriter and carried it home. As night descended upon Ravenshade, she set the typewriter on an antique desk in her dimly lit study, the air heavy with the scent of aged paper and anticipation. The first keystrokes echoed through the room like distant whispers, and the words that materialized on the crisp white paper were not her own. Beyond the veil of mortal perception lies a realm where shadows scribe their tales in blood. Evelyn's heart quickened, but a strange compulsion compelled her to continue typing. The room transformed, the walls morphing into an otherworldly landscape. A chilling wind whistled through unseen corridors, and ethereal figures hovered in the periphery of her vision. With each sentence, the barrier between fiction and reality eroded. Characters from Blackwood's stories manifested in the room, their eyes gleaming with malevolence. They whispered forgotten nightmares into Evelyn's ears, their cold fingers tracing the contours of her trembling form. Desperate to escape the nightmare she had unwittingly unleashed, Evelyn typed frantically, attempting to rewrite the narrative. Yet the typewriter seemed to have a will of its own, the keys moving with a spectral precision, weaving a tale of horror that mirrored Blackwood's most nightmarish creations. As the story unfolded, Ravenshade itself became a darkened realm, its streets haunted by grotesque entities born of ink and nightmares. Reality and fiction merged into a maddening tapestry, and Evelyn found herself trapped within the narrative, a puppet in the hands of the Shadowed Scribes. In a final act of desperation, Evelyn typed a plea for release, a cry for the story to end. The typewriter responded with a deafening silence, and the room gradually returned to its mundane state. The apparitions vanished, leaving Evelyn breathless and shaken. The typewriter, now still and lifeless, bore the last words typed by Evelyn. The shadows recede, their tales told. Beware the power that words may hold. With a newfound reverence for the thin veil separating imagination from reality, Evelyn locked the typewriter away, vowing never to allow the Shadowed Scribes to escape again. But as she closed the door to the study, she couldn't shake the feeling that, somewhere in the depths of Ravenshade, the echoes of Ambrose Blackwood's tales lingered, waiting for another unsuspecting soul to bring them to life. Weeks passed, and Evelyn attempted to resume her normal life, convincing herself that the horrors she had experienced were mere manifestations of an overactive imagination. The typewriter remained locked away, hidden in the shadows of her study, its presence an unsettling reminder of the thin line between creation and catastrophe. One stormy night, as lightning forked across the ink-black sky, a haunting whisper filled Evelyn's dreams. She found herself back in the spectral realm she had conjured, surrounded by the phantoms of Blackwood's malevolent characters. The Shadowed Scribes, their faces twisted into wicked grins, beckoned her towards the typewriter. Awakening with a start, Evelyn rushed to the study, her breath catching in her throat as she discovered the typewriter no longer confined by the barriers she had erected. Its keys clicked and clacked on their own accord, spelling out a sinister message. Imagination unleashed cannot be contained, the tales persist, and the scribe's hunger for more. Dread settled in Evelyn's chest as she realized the malevolent force she had unwittingly set loose was not bound by the physical typewriter. The lines between the tangible and the ethereal blurred further as the darkness spilled beyond the study, seeping into the very fabric of Ravenshade. Terrifying entities once confined to the typewritten words now roamed the town's shadowy streets. The townspeople, oblivious to the eldritch horrors, continued their daily lives, unaware of the encroaching darkness that sought to consume them. Determined to right her unwitting wrong, Evelyn delved into Blackwood's works, searching for clues to undo the nightmare she had unleashed. As she read, the lines between her reality and the fictional world blurred once more. Characters materialized around her, whispering cryptic guidance and forewarning of the impending doom. Guided by the eerie wisdom of these spectral apparitions, Evelyn discovered a forgotten ritual within Blackwood's tales, a ritual that could bind the Shadowed Scribes and seal the malevolent rift. The ritual required sacrifices of both imagination and fear, demanding Evelyn to confront the darkest recesses of her own mind. With trepidation, Evelyn embarked on the ritual, each step bringing her closer to the heart of the nightmare. She faced her deepest fears, reliving the horrors crafted by Blackwood's imagination. The town itself seemed to rebel against the ritual, shadows twisting and contorting in a desperate bid for survival. In a climactic confrontation within the spectral realm, Evelyn stood face to face with the embodiment of the Shadowed Scribes, a nightmarish amalgamation of ink and malevolence. With courage drawn from the depths of her soul, she uttered the words of the binding ritual, compelling the scribes to return to the confines of the typewriter. As the echoes of the ritual reverberated through the spectral realm, reality itself seemed to quiver. The town of Ravenshade trembled, caught between two worlds. Slowly, the malevolent presence receded, the shadows dissipating like a dissipating storm. The ethereal entities, once vivid and terrifying, faded into nothingness. Exhausted but victorious, Evelyn found herself back in her study. The typewriter, now silent and inert, held no trace of the malevolence that had plagued Ravenshade. The storm outside subsided, and a feeble ray of moonlight illuminated the room. Evelyn, forever changed by her harrowing ordeal, vowed to guard the typewriter's secrets. She understood the delicate balance between creation and chaos, recognizing the power that words held over reality. The Shadowed Scribes were silenced, but their tales lingered in the echoes of Ravenshade, a cautionary whisper to those who dared to tread the thin line between fiction and nightmare. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please don't forget to like, and even better, like and subscribe. Thank you very much and have a great day.